All right, so this is I think a fourth generation Toyota Avalon. It's an XLE V6 Touring. It's not my car, but I'm doing the work. Let's see. It's got a radiator leak, and there's pink fluid coming out of it. And she went in for a tire rotation or something like that, and of course they found that for her. And it's on the fan side of the radiator on the bottom. I'm not going to show you the leak. It's a leak. And I want to put this on the internets because I couldn't find one. I couldn't find a video of anyone doing this, and so I'm going to have to kind of muddle my way through it. But I figured I would try to record pertinent sections to help the next guy. I already removed this plastic piece that goes all the way around here, a big C-shaped beauty cover. This is specifically for beauty. Yeah. And I pulled these two 10 millimeters right here, and they're in the tray. I pulled these two 10 millimeters. Where are you? Right there. That one and that one over there. And those are just for the reservoir. And I pulled the reservoir tube off with my hand. For this, you need to get these guys out of the way. And as you go to lift it out, you'll realize that there's a wire snapped in here. In this case, mine was severed here. And we're going to repair that while we're at it. It plugs in here. I've already pulled the plug off of this, and I set it aside. If you get these tubes, the vacuum tubes off of it, you can sort of pull it out and flip it over and get those snaps out from the bottom without breaking them. So now I have just this flappy wire here, which should have a connector on it. And there she is. She's so beautiful. I'm going to set these aside, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to see what's next. All right, so it looks like there's some connectors. I think the fan shroud, if you can see this, I think the fan shroud has to come out, and then the radiator would come inward towards the engine and come up. It's actually hot right now, so I haven't drained it. That would obviously be your first step, is to go to the bottom, and there's a petcock straight down there. Maybe it's on the other side, but I think it's down here. And you got to open it and drain the fluid. Just let it run until no more comes out. You're going to need to put it all back, and you're going to need to do the bleed procedure when you're done. There are videos out there for doing the bleed procedure. There's one little item right here, which I think we need to remove. Get a little light on the situation. Okay, this looks like some sort of slide connector. I'm going to disconnect that, and over here, I am also going to disconnect this. That appears to be some of the wiring that needs to come out. And I may even pull the battery and pull this. It wiggles, so it's just sort of inserted into the bottom of the air box there. But I may need to pull the battery to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do those things, and then I'm going to come back. All right, we're back. This connector was kind of interesting. First, you just pull straight down on it, and it slips down. Then you have to press this gray section right down here in and slip it off like a normal connector. Not sure why this needs the extra insurance. I found this out by removing the 10 millimeter bolt that secures it to this little tiny hole right there. It looks like it might be easier to remove it and pull the connector off of it. Yeah, anyway. All right, let's see. The battery is out for this little tube, which I wanted to remove. I just kind of reached down in here and pulled it straight down, and she slipped out. Let's see what the end looks like. Yeah, it's just a little sort of press fit, push in thingamajiggeroo. You're gonna have to probably do that blind coming out, but there's your air box. Now that's out. I just need to get this last connector off. Where are you? Right there. All right, I got that connector off. I actually pressed back here in between these two little slots, if you can see that. And it slid out. I'm not really sure if you're just supposed to be able to press or not, but that's what I did. It came right out, and now I can see I got two more down here. I did take that and a couple of other ones along the way so that I can move this whole harness out of the way. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with the whole camera thing. Just trying to help. I may also go ahead and pull these 10 millimeters right here. This is some sort of, it may catch moisture or something out of the air box. Vacuum style. There's some sort of little canister down here. Don't know what it does. Don't care. I'm going to go ahead and pull that just to try and make a little bit more room as well. All right. Just decided to take a little look. Of course, without my light. But this half, at least, of the body cladding, the little air guards down here need to be taken off. it looks like it splits right here. And take that bolt out, and then we're going to go down here. Let's see, where is it? There's a body clip right in here, right there. And then you have a few 10 millimeters. You've got one here, and then you got one here. And then we'll see if it comes out. This whole plastic piece needs to come out because it's sort of, if you can see this, it's blocking the bottom of the radiator that I need to get to drain it. I learned a little bit more about it since then, so I want to go over it real quickly. Right there, you got a bolt. Right in this little pocket here, you got a body clip. Come back here, you got another bolt right here. And then you got another body clip. Where are you? Right there. And then you have 3 more bolts / screws that go across here. They hold a little air dam on in front of the wheel, and those got to get pulled as well. All right, here is the little petcock. We're underneath. I've pulled this one side of the shroud off. You can see the other side's still there. It's under the car now. And I just turned the light on my own eyes. So right under here is the front frame. Hopefully I can show this to you without looking. Let me see if I can see it. So it is right up there. It's toward the center of the car. You can see the jack is right here, and right above the center jack point, right to the right hand side of this bolt, there is, right underneath it actually, is this yellow little petcock. That's where you're going to drain your coolant from. So I'm going to start that process because I think it's cooled down sufficiently. Alright, it just unscrews counterclockwise. I'm really sorry guys, I know this is terrible. But so you just unscrew it counterclockwise. It doesn't even have to come all the way out. It's still in there, and we're draining. I've got a couple buckets standing by. All right, well that's happening down there. The O2 sensor line is bound to this coolant hose, top of the radiator. This is still moderately warm, so I'm gonna hold off on pulling this because it's still got some block heat in it. This is cool. But this right here is still fairly warm, so I got to wait for it to drain down and cool, and then I'm going to try to pull this connector. Whatever this is, this may be impossible to pull, I don't know, but we're going to try to pull that out, and then we're going to take this off, this coolant hose, and try to get it out of the way. Then we're going to see what we've got as far as room. Oh, I zoomed in. I'm sorry. There you go. That's better. And we're getting close to being able to, what I hope is, pull these little clips right here, and then pull the radiator forward towards the, or backwards towards the engine, and slide the, not the radiator, but the fan shroud. These 2 connectors here that I was going to pull appear to be routed directly to this fan motor and the other fan motor, so it doesn't look like you need to pull those. Be back in a minute. All right, how are we looking on coolant down there? It looks good. We'll get a new bucket in a minute. I did take these clips off. I did remove this wire right here. This is your, it's kind of chewed right there. That's not, anyway, that's your oxygen sensor wire. I did remove the clips. It seems like the radiator just falls, the fan shroud just falls forward. I did get some resistance over here, and I noticed it looks like that the radiator is tucked in a little clip right here, or the, excuse me, the coolant return from the water pump, or vacuum from the water pump, is clipped to the radiator fan shroud. So you got to separate this big tube right here away from the radiator fan shroud, and then we should be able to hopefully pull it to the right and up and out. All right, so that idea wasn't really very well thought through. You have this beautiful sticking out of your plastic piece that's just part of the radiator, and so you can't get any clearance to pull this up. Otherwise, it looks like it would have just come right out. So we're on the right track. So we got 2 bolts here. I can't tell whether there's one in the back, so we'll get it. Over here, I pulled the connectors off the horns. They're just going to come out with this. I'm going to pull what I think is this bolt, and this bolt. And if there's another one at the bottom, we'll get it. And then I'm going to pull these two, and hopefully this top cover for the radiator will just come off. Then we might have a different game. Let's see. All right, so it looks like we got the top of the radiator support right here in the front out. She's sort of freestanding. Pay a lot of respect to this beautiful condenser. This is what powers your air conditioner to make the liquid that decompresses and makes you cold. So it looks like there's 2 bolts here, and if I'm not mistaken, down there at the bottom there's going to be 2 more that kind of screw it to the radiator. And I think once those 2 are done, and we pull the bottom, let's see, it wouldn't be return, it would be an exit, I don't know, the bottom tube off of the radiator, I think she's going to come right up out, at which point we will remove the fan shroud from the current radiator. We will see how well the part we got from Rock Auto mimics the old one. Maybe switch some of the hardware, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I got to get these 2 bolts all the way at the bottom of the condenser. All right, so it turns out you've got to take both sides of this shroud on the bottom of the car off. Right here, there's going to be 1 more bolt right up here. There's going to be 3 across here. This is, again, where that little weird air dam is. Those 3, and then there's 2 more. And once you pull those, it's 2 more body clips here, and then I think over here. Yeah, there. And then you can get to your favorite guy, the bottom of the radiator. We got to pull that clip, work it up the hose a little bit, and then work that hose off of the radiator. I believe when that's done, the radiator will be free, and right now she ain't dripping anymore, so our single bucket, which I think might be 3 gallons, has caught all of it. So it looks like about 2 gallons drained out. I wish I could get more out. I may actually put water in and drain more. Yeah, that's where we're at. I also got to check the pH on it. Make sure we're not getting current out of the fluid. When I fill it back up, make sure we're not getting current. So we're not eating holes in the new radiator too. Just in case this wasn't a physical damage issue. Yeah, just Google that. Somebody will tell you how. I think you run a voltmeter from the coolant, like a probe in the coolant to the negative battery terminal, and see if you're seeing voltage, DC voltage. And if you are, and it's anywhere north of like 0.1 volts or 0.2 volts or something, I think it's actually going to be actively eating the new radiator as well. And just, it's a waste of time and money. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind is when you pull that lower radiator tube, it's going to drain about 16 ounces of coolant. So it'd be smart to have something there to catch it. Second, in this car, it must have been the original radiator. It did say Toyota on it. There is some sort of like slightly sticky foam pad, which sort of like, see this? Kind of glued it to the bottom of the other radiator. I guess it's to help force air to pass through from the condenser to the radiator. I don't know. Or maybe it helps keep debris from coming up in between from the road. Either way, it sort of kind of felt sticky and didn't want to come up. So I had to gently hold the condenser down and pull the radiator up gently. I didn't hear any hissing, and the condenser looks pretty good. So there's your condenser. Over here, I'm not going to show you my garage because it's a big mess. Here is your apparatus that we just pulled. You can see there was a lot of garbage here. A lot of this. A lot of stuff that needs to be cleaned off. Again, we're getting a new one, so we don't need to be worried about that. We're going to pull the cap. We're probably going to pull the mounts. We're going to pull the entire fan shroud, which I believe is just this clip, and that clip, and then the whole shroud comes off. It like fits into a little slot at the bottom. I don't know whether those slots come with the new radiator or not. We'll find that out in just a minute. All right, one last thing of note real quick. Looking at this, I see a lot right here, right down here along the bottom. This damage right here, I think I did some of this trying to pull the fan shroud out without pulling the radiator. I am not 100% sure where that's coming from. I'm really hoping it wasn't coming from right here and splashing all over this, and it was just hanging here, because I don't see any damage to the radiator. There is damage, but it's way over here. And there doesn't appear to be any leaking. I don't see any kind of that oxidized pink flavor and color. I see all of it coming from over here, right here. So I don't know whether we might have a crack, or it might have actually been coming out under the tube right here. And all it needed was a new down tube. I really hope that's not the case. But these are the ways you learn, right? I'm going to go ahead and replace that tube anyway. It shouldn't be too expensive, and I don't want to duplicate this and get this connected and then see it leaking out of here and have to go back in and pull everything out. So I think for the cost, I'm just going to replace it.